everybody. I'm Chris Martinson of Peak Prosperity here with your weekly update. It is Friday, December 29th, 2017. Hey, this is your last weekly update of 2017. Happy New Year, everybody. I wish I could just call it a weekly update and say Happy New Year and leave it at that, because my usual weekly update includes pointing out all the things that are just a little goofy. What wasn't goofy this year? Well, the stock markets had their lowest year of volatility ever. Think that one through. Of course, you know my point of view. We have the stock markets we have because, and only because, the central banks have been fiddling with them. First, sort of covertly in ways that I think we all would understand if we could actually get an audit and see what they've been up to. But overtly, certainly by driving the rates of interest down so low that people were forced into risk assets. Charles Hugh Smith has a two-parter at Peak Prosperity this week, which talks about the giant hole that has driven pensions and other defined benefit plans into things that are just absolutely, mathematically now, in a giant hole. Meaning, we only have to answer one question for those, which is my favorite question: who's going to eat the losses? That's what we're down to in this part of the story, but this record low volatility prediction time, that's going to turn around. We're going to see much higher volatility going into 2018. And of course, there's all sorts of geopolitical risks. Those continue to simmer along, things with North Korea, with Russia, you name it, blah, blah, blah. So that stocks had record low volatility is not a measure of the fact that there was no risk in the world or that stocks shouldn't have been concerned about a few things. Instead, stock markets were driven by central banks, both overtly, all the ways we know about, shoving money into the markets, driving interest rates down, jawboning the markets up whenever they need to, but also covertly. We know now that when markets started to sell off in 2016, the European Central Bank stepped into the markets to calm them. The European Central Bank is still printing money at the highest rates ever. Where's the emergency? So there's an enormous emergency going on according to the European Central Bank, but it's not in their data. It's not in the trade data. It's not in the unemployment data. It's not. If the economy's okay, what's the emergency in terms of printing? So that's going to be unwinding in 2018 into 2019. As well, my prediction for this year, 2018, we're going to see much higher oil prices starting at some point in the next year, maybe 2 years at the most. But why do I say that? Because, again, 2017 was the lowest year in the last 45 years of data for oil discoveries. Hey, you gotta find it before you can pump it. So we now have 4 years in a row where you add those 4 years of oil discoveries together and you've never seen lower amounts of discovery of oil in the data series. Whoa, this is gonna be something that's gonna really catch a lot of people by surprise as we come forward, because you gotta find it before you pump it. So as well, I want to alert you to the fact that on January 7th, which is a Sunday at 12 o'clock Eastern, we're hosting a webinar, Peak Prosperity, about digital currencies, Bitcoin specifically, but digital currencies generally. Our own resident expert, if I can call him that, a gentleman who visits our site, who's been very, very instrumental, knows a lot, made a killing in this whole space, really called it right, called it early, even got out near the top. Somebody you should pay attention to, Mark Rees. He will be our resident guest for this. So I'll be hosting it. That's going to be amazing. If you ever wanted to learn something about digital currencies, this would be the place to go. A lot of people are speculating in them, not investing, right? They're speculating without really knowing why or what these things are about. They know that the prices are going up, but they don't understand really what the opportunity is. So this is kind of like, a lot of people, it's kind of like 1996 through 1999 where, the internet was up and people were throwing money into stuff. The people who threw their money into pets.com lost it all. The people who threw their money into Cisco saw their money return. So you need to understand this space if you want to be involved in it. Even if you don't, this is really going to be a transformative technology. Blockchain, distributed ledger, these are the terms. What do they mean? We'll be exploring all of that. So again, that's going to be on January 7th. That's at 12 o'clock Eastern. I'm the host, Mark Rees, the expert, and Adam Taggart will be helping me with that, of course. So that's how we're gonna kick off the new year. And of course, Adam and I are going to be in a 3-city tour, which is San Francisco, Portland, and Seattle, on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday out there in January on that next weekend out after that. I think that's the weekend of the 17th, 18th, 19th. So we're going to be doing that. I think Seattle's full. Portland is probably full at this point in time. I think there's a few spaces left in the San Francisco slot. So if you wanted to come to that, that'd be great. Love to see you there. We're going to be taking a big romp through the data, of course, because, wow, this world we live in, crazy times. And it's this oil data, you really have to pay attention to that. And of course, we'll be going through all the other economic data, ecological data, energy data as makes sense. But that's then. For now, I want you to have just a fantastic weekend and have a really great New Year's Eve. And let's get ready and prepared for 2018 because this is the year that volatility returns. All right, with that, I will see you in the new year. Bye-bye.